Welcome to the Tumbledown Village Little Theater presents Evening Classics. We hope you enjoyed last month's offering, Peter Pan meets Frankenstein, a mashup.
Interesting.
Tonight we take you back to 1872. No, that's 1972. We're rather earlier. Oh dear no, that's 1772. We take you back to just 1872, the Victorian era. There are no cell phones.
What? Seriously?
Quite right. No cell phones, no cell phones, no cell phones. Come on. Communication was difficult and travel was the worst. The Victorian era. For tonight, we take you
around the world in 18 days.
Yes, the Tumbledown Village Little Theater Evening Classic will treat you all on a jolly journey around absolutely the entire globe by means of our modest resources.
Meager resources.
And our humble abilities.
Embarrassing.
Oh, speak for yourself.
We shall of ourselves treat you all on a jolly journey.
Around the world in 80 days. From the fantastic travel adventure novel from Monsieur Jules Verne.
And we trust you'll enjoy it so much that you will all go home and
read the book.
Now, some of the Victorian viewpoints from the original novel might today seem patriarchal, supremacist, or downright snooty. So we have taken creative steps to soften these matters and hope that no one will be offended. So, let's take you back to the mid-late early 1800s, and begin!
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen, God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us, God save our Queen.
God save our gracious Queen, our hot, vivacious Queen. I love my Queen. Our country has the luck. Our Queen is hot as...
Oh, no, this simply won't do.
Sorry, sir?
The tea. It's not hot enough. This tea is 127 degrees. My tea comes properly to table at 135 degrees.
Yes, sir. I'll bring it right back.
No, that will be all.
Right?
You're fired.
Just like that, but I've only been with you for 10 minutes.
That's the other thing. It has been 12 minutes. Your watch has been off since the moment you arrived this morning. You will, of course, still be paid for the full 2 weeks.
Oh, just like that.
My life is calculated and regulated. Every aspect, from tea to time, everything is regulated, predictable. Yes, just like that.
Oh, who could that be?
Your replacement.
What?
You let him in and let yourself out.
Oh! The new servant, Mr. Pussyport?
Passepartout.
Porter parties.
Passepartout.
Oh, pretty poses!
Thank you, Forster. Now that was
Passepartout.
Passepartout.
Oui, monsieur.
Oh, Passepartout. It's a French name. Something that might travel easily anywhere?
Oui, monsieur. My parents, we were a circus family. Trapeze.
Oh dear, this may not be the correct position for you. My life is calm and calculated.
Monsieur, this is the very position I desire.
I beg your
Life in a circus. I did many things. I was an acrobat, a gymnastics instructor, a rope walker, a lion tamer, a giraffe wrangler, even a fireman. Life in the circus was always madness, moving, performing, traveling. I am now 30 years old, and I desire a steady position in a quiet home.
Let's have a go of it. Here is my daily schedule. I will leave for the Reform Club here and return home tonight here. Welcome. Good day.
Ah, mon cher maman, mon idée fixée. The situation I desire. Quiet living, a home, regular. Look here, at home. He sleeps, attends hygiene, dresses, drinks tea at, exactly 135 degrees. He goes to the Reform Club at 11:15 a.m., returns every night at the same time. And every clock in the house, it ticks and talks in unison. The man himself functions like clockwork. Oh, this is home. I shall now go light the gaslight in my home.
We take you now to London's Reform Club, an exclusive gentlemen's membership-only club where the rich sit around and, you know, be rich at each other.
What's right?
They play whist. So exciting!
Cheerio.
What's right?
Dagnabbit! Sorry, this report in the Times, it says here a man of chap purports that a tour around the world, that is a trip entirely around the earth, can be completed in only 80 days.
Oh, boys.
Yes, what with travel improvements made by the British Empire. In many of these countries, a man may now undertake a journey around the world and be back in only 80 days.
Really?
Don't believe a word.
Yes, in the Times.
Ridiculous.
We'll fake us no, Stuart.
Dong, 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 dong.
That'll be fine. Up for dinner. Broke as usual.
Dong, 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 dong.
Oh, evening, gentlemen. Chef's on the top of his game tonight.
Oh, have you seen this in the Times? A trip around the world.
Nonsense. Stuff.
No, I don't know. That itinerary is all laid out.
Yes, what with railways and steamships, a man may leave London, through Egypt, around the tip of India, and thence to Hong Kong and Japan, and to the Americas, San Francisco, New York, and be back in London.
Precisely how I manage my life and timetables. I'm sure if you followed that, you could complete the circumnavigation. However, see this.
£55,000?
What?
They're calling him the gentleman bank robber. This bloke just strolled into the Bank of England without all that usual, well, you know, the mask and pistol, just plain himself, and then strolled right back out with £55,000.
And nobody noticed.
It says here, as he was not dressed like a regular bank robber, he was completely uninteresting.
Not a proper bank robber. This is England. We do things right and proper.
Yeah.
You get away.
No, the police will be on.
He sounds a clever thief.
£55,000. The bank will post a substantial reward, and that will keep the detectives on his trail.
But the world is a very big place.
Oh, not so big anymore. Oh, it's just as it's laid out in the Times. Travel is more easily accessible, handily available. This gentleman bank robber could just slip away and then disappear.
Right. This travel adventure fantasy in the Times impossible.
Oh, but see here, old man, it's all laid out, stop by stop here, just like a regular British rail timetable.
Just as I manage my life and schedule, I'm sure if I followed this, I could complete the circumnavigation.
Rubbish! It's a pipe dream, a child's wish. You would have to jump mathematically from boat to train.
Then I would jump mathematically.
Bob! Oh, I don't mean you would do it.
Saying I could do it, I believe wholeheartedly.
You believe, but will you do it, actually? £4,000. My £4,000 says you can make that trip in 80 days. Anyone else, for or against?
Oh, well, it all sounds very well on paper, but if it were me, I don't know.
All right. I'm in for £4,000.
Mr. Fogg will undertake the task.
Then this is a genuine wager. Very well. I see your £4,000 and your £4,000.
And mine.
But Mr. Fogg, your timetable does not account for the unexpected.
Oh, I expect the unexpected.
But delays, weather, they're unforeseen.
Precisely my point. My life, my timetables, my schedule allow for the unforeseen. I look ahead for delay. I am prepared for surprise.
All right. I too am in for £4,000.
Let's see you jump mathematically.
That's £16,000, will you do it?
Are we not British gentlemen? A wager is a matter of honor. Of course I will do it.
Then I'm in too, £4,000.
Betting against me? Thought you were on my side.
Well, it's Daddy's money.
Very well. That is £20,000 drawn against my account at the Bank of England. It is now 8 o'clock in the evening, October 2nd, 1872. I shall return to this cardroom in the Reform Club on December 21st at precisely the exact same time. Should I fail, you may cash my check and disperse the winnings amongst yourselves.
Should we write this all out?
Hardly. We're British gentlemen. A wager's a matter of honor. Passport 2! Passport 2?
Monsieur!
How dare you make me call you a second time?
I apologize.
Pack an overnight bag. We leave immediately.
Oui, monsieur. For monsieur?
Oui, for yourself.
Pardon?
We catch the 8:45 to Paris and then on to Suez, Egypt.
Oui, monsieur?
Oui, yes. We tour the world.
Oui, monsieur.
Oui, yes. Return in 80 days.
Monsieur, oui?
Said yes. Passport 2. English, please.
No, monsieur. I do not ask oui. I ask oui?
Oh, oui, tout ensemble. Yes, both of us.
Right now.
This very evening.
Around the world.
And return in 80 days. Now go. Tout quick. No time.
Oui, I will pack the trunks, the suitcases.
No trunks. Just an overnight bag, a carpet bag. Go.
Oui, monsieur.
Include for me 2 woolen shirts, 3 pairs of slacks.
Oui, monsieur.
Same for you.
Oui, monsieur.
Include in my Macintosh, my traveling cloak, and a stout pair of traveling shoes, though I don't anticipate we'll be doing much walking.
Oui, monsieur.
Good. Now take this. And do not let this bag out of your hand. It now contains £20,000.
Flowers, good luck, flowers for your journey. I'll buy a flower for a poor girl.
Ha! Not here! Foolishness! Complete nonsense! Is for presents? No sign!
He'll be here.
Off on a lark around the world! He can't even make the first try!
The train hasn't left the station yet. Now off with you. Lord Albemarle won't be buying any flowers. No adventures or journeys for him.
Do stay bundled up there, sir.
Buy a flower off a poor girl. Oh, Fogg! Mr. Phileas Fogg!
Sorry.
Fogg! Around the world in 80 days?
No! And you won't likely see him today either! A lot of hot air, noise, and humbug!
Is that your opinion, sir?
Circumnavigate the globe, and in 80 days, here's my opinion, write this down!
Oh dear, how do I spell?
Right this way, this platform.
Precisely on time.
Always.
Mr. Fogg, I'm so glad Stuart here didn't think you'd make it.
Buy a flower.
Oh, here you are, my good woman. 8 shillings. My profit from last night's was...
Fogg, you give away?
My winnings always go to charity. I play for the game, not the money.
Mr. Fogg! Mr. Fogg! Word is out about your jolly jaunt around absolutely the entire globe. And we here at the Daily Telegraph believe in you and plan to follow your journey day by day.
Thank you, but I don't know how much will be in communication.
Well, I do not believe it's a lot of food they're all. A youthful fancy, taking off by an unknowledgeable young upstart, likely to come back in a box.
And I Just wanted to see you go. I've never been anywhere except in this chair or in my bed. I've always wanted to travel the world. I've only traveled once on my own.
When was that?
Nurse was ill. Didn't hear me ring. I needed to. Blasted, you know what I mean. Get down the hole. Dragged myself. Took 3/4 of an hour, but I did it. Under my own steam. Best day of my life. Folk, I bid you bon voyage.
Lord Albemarle, I wish you the very best. Farewell, all. The passport stamps at the council office shall prove my journey. I shall return to the Reform Club December 21st, 1872, at 8 o'clock. Farewell.
Yes, yes, good boy.
Yes?
Monsieur, I regret to inform you that I have left the gaslight burning in my room.
Nothing for it now. It shall burn at your own expense.
Fair is fair.
I hope he makes it. Do you think he will? May I quote you?
Oh, rotting this down, always.
If I may.
Well, it is this specific individual's perfectly fine opinion to state unequivocally that the thought you presented, Mr. Figgley-Forbes,
Phileas.
who is a mysterious and indefensibly rich
Independently.
and proficiently benevolent,
I'll just fix it all.
shall in the future and forward contort himself into a proper British gentleman. I wasn't done. I'm done now.
So, among the bystanders, or boy-sitters, I suppose, do we have any opposing votes? Do you think you'll make it around the world in 80 days? How about you, over here? Yes! Oh, do we have any opposing votes? Anyone say he's not going to make
Who
it?
thinks he won't make it? I'll give you a black one. Oh, you! You idiot! What are you thinking you won't make it? What, you think you know more than I do? Look at me, I'm a proper British lady. Look to walk as
You
a
don't know
dog.
what you're talking about over there. I'm not going to make it.
He doesn't know what
Over
he's
here.
doing.
Who do we have over here? You guys think you'll make it or not?
Up with you! Anyone else for? Anyone else for? Look at him! Look at him! Coming out of the woodwork! And for you! For you who say he won't make it, well, I've got a bet for you, I do! I've got 8 shillings right here in me pocket! 8 shillings that says on December 21st, Mr. Figgley-Fogger, where his name is, will be back here at 8 p.m. on the dot!
That's right! Wages are springing up all over London. Fog will fail, Fog will make it.
Place your bets now, place your bets. One for one down. Anybody. You can buy 6 for $5 if you wish. Anyone? Is that it then? Anyone? That's it? I can go? Okay. And enjoy the show.
All aboard the British Rail, on to Paris, France, and then on to Suez, Egypt. Paris, France, and Suez, Egypt. Paris, France, and Suez, Egypt.
Really, Passepartout, I don't hope you see this as some sort of vacation or sightseeing venture.
But monsieur, there is the sun. Perhaps we even see the Tuileries.
You do realize when the train stops in Paris, we will not even disembark.
But monsieur, she is.
Yes, what is she?
She is Paris.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
but we will not be staying.
Ah, sacre bleu!
Still, Passepartout, it is rather interesting.
Seen it.
Allah for Suez, Egypt! Camel, coffee, history, and hookahs, shuttles to the pyramids! Allah!
£55,000. More than I've seen ever. And I am Detective Fix of the Metropolitan Police. Numerous captures to my credit. Bloodhound Fix, nose to the grindstone Fix. Really just trying to, as the Americans say, earn a buck. But this gentleman bank robber casually strolls out of the Bank of England. £55,000. And here, wealthy playboy type, Phileas Fogg, no reason whatever, just a lark, takes a whirlwind tour of the world. Not on business, not even sightseeing really, just to run around it throwing money everywhere. Absolute whim, completely out of character, while this gentleman bank robber and this wealthy... I am a genius!
What's going on about that Fix?
Fogg! Gentleman bank robber! Fogg!
No, Fogg, the day was clear.
The Fogg is the bank robber! Bank robber is Fogg!
Bank robber is Fogg. A mist entered the Bank of England, wearing a mask, a mist mask.
This Fogg! This Fogg!
Nebulous cloud walked him into the theory and only released him of £55,000.
No! This man!
Empty bundle for an insubstantial banker to carry away.
You haven't been
Better
listening!
shut the windows, or else lock my sock drawer. Well, loose him up on the ponies and tell the wife a gentle morning breeze made off with the peak of it.
His name is Fogg!
Your crackers.
Listen to me! This gentleman bank robber, this traveler Fogg, same man. It adds up. Fogg, there's no reason for his trip around the globe. He's using it as an excuse to get out of England. He's really going into hiding.
No robber's gonna hide away by putting his whereabouts into the newspaper.
Of course he does. Hiding in plain sight, right under your nose. Hand is quicker than the eye.
Well, why don't you ask him yourself? He's arriving just now on the Mongolia.
The steamship? From Brindisi? I'll meet him right now.
But don't make yourself into a fool. By description, this gentleman's bank robber looks a very respectable Englishman.
He won't fool me. Inspector Fix. Fix the Fox, they call me. You don't out-fox the Fix. No one gets a fix on Fox. I am the Foxy Fix.
Egypt, Suez, Egypt, dry as a bone, good for the sinuses. Suez, parchment, fine tobaccos, Allah!
I seek the counsel for the British.
You're French.
Oui, monsieur.
Over there.
Merci. My master sends me to get the passport stamped on for a trip around the world.
Yes, yes. Whoa! Your master, you say? I see. How are you? Delightful fellow, fancy meeting. And, your master's name again?
Monsieur Fogg, Phileas Fogg.
Your master, Mr. Fogg,
Oui,
is
monsieur.
here now.
Oui, monsieur.
Right on the boat?
Oui, monsieur.
Right just here?
Oui.
Yes! Excellent. The British consul is just over there.
Merci.
But your master, Mr. Fogg, must come himself, personally, in person, to have the passports stamped on.
Oui, monsieur.
Oui, yes!
This is very strange. I do not hear of this.
Yeah, you know, it's Egypt, sand, mummies, all that, you know. Quick, your telegraph.
I am not.
Your telegraph.
Well,
if you're going to be insulting...
Where is the telegraph?
Why don't you simply ask? It's just there.
I have to send to London. Metropolitan Police. For the warrant. Arrest warrant for Phileas Fogg.
Why does Fogg want an arrest warrant?
Oh, he doesn't.
Then why are you...
Never mind that. Here's your plot list. Don't sign his passport. Wait, make up some excuse, but don't sign it.
That's what I'm here for.
I know, but don't do it.
It's not even required anymore.
What?
Old custom. People like it, but it's not really necessary.
What? No?
Not a bit. Strictly for show. Some like it, but it's not needed any,
Drat! Tell him it is necessary, then don't do it.
You're very confused today.
Listen, Fogg is a criminal.
No, not this again.
You get in with me on this. You'll be fighting crime. Doing your part. Queen and country. All that. Do not sign his passport. Not until the warrant arrives by telegraph, and I can arrest him.
Yeah.
Suez, Egypt! Ancient pottery, finest cotton, 300 thread count bed sheets!
Thank you, my good man.
Right over here, monsieur.
British Council?
Good old days.
Passports authenticated.
Once upon a time. Down. Stop.
Now, Passport 2, take these and purchase our other necessities, clothing and such.
Oui, monsieur.
I shall return to my cabin on the Mongolia to calculate our timetables, places, etc. We are precisely on schedule.
What is wrong with you? Tell London to send the arrest warrant to...
Next stop, Bombay, India! Sun and fun, temples in Tandoori!
You heard the man! Bombay! Bombay!
My master spends his time alone. Moi, I am for the taking of the air. Observing as we pass the towns, the peoples, the architecture, the food, oh la la!
Captain,
Yes, Mr. Fogg.
what is this dish that I'm supposed to be eating?
That would be rabbit, sir.
Rabbit.
Sir?
Captain, tell me, when this rabbit was trapped, did it meow?
Oh!
Ha! He is French. He cannot hold his tongue. I say, you there! I say, do you have the correct time?
Wait, monsieur. It is just 10.
Sure, it is fully noon.
My great-grandfather's watch tells me it is 10.
Sorry, old boy, truly it is 12 noon.
Dare impeach the dignity of my great-grandfather's watch?
Nothing. I see. You've left your watch set to London time. Back in London, it is, of course, just 10 in the morning. But we have traveled east from London, and here, the sun itself tells us noon.
Then the sun shall be wrong. I have carried my great-great-grandfather's watch.
I say, we've spoken before?
Suez!
Of course!
It is a coincidence.
If you say so. I work for the Papineau. We provide a mail service between Egypt and India. I travel this line frequently. And you?
No, it is a whim. I do not think we get so far. I thought when we travel to Paris that we will stop and enjoy ourselves. And then on to Egypt, we travel to the whole country and see nothing. Rien. And now, around the tip of India, he plays the whist.
Travel much, you and your master?
No, certainement, absolument, necessary.
Sorry. English, old boy?
Oui, English, Anglais. Yes, my master, he does not travel. He is a homebody. His habits are regular and precise. This is an aberration.
Unusual.
Incroyable.
Out of character.
This performance, it is not like my master. I think when we reach Bombay, this whole charade Peter. Pathways, Mr. P&O of the Mail of Egypt. Bonjour.
Out of character. Incroyable. I am even more convinced. This is an elaborate getaway scheme.
On October 20th, the Mongolia arrives in Bombay, India. Bombay, India, 2 days ahead of Phileas Fogg's schedule. Passepartout does a bit of shopping. He takes in the sights. He spots one of India's beautiful religious buildings and lets himself in.
Give me more! Give me your shoes! Come on!
The priests are warm and receptive. Poor Passepartout has learned the hard way the sanctity of religious buildings, and that perhaps neither outsiders nor shoes are welcome.
Monsieur, I regret I've lost all the things I have bought for our trip.
Well, I hope there will be no repetition of this.
It's happened once, and that shall be enough.
Monsieur, we shall have to purchase everything again.
Yes.
And I have cost you considerable monies. I have even left the gaslight body in my room.
Yes.
And lastly, I shall need shoes.
Yes, you shall.
All aboard the Great Peninsula Railway departing Calcutta for Caliandala.
Puna, Panwell, the Western Ghat Mountains, Nazik, Barakampur, Maligang, Kori, and eventually Allahabad. Well, all aboard!
All up! Everybody off the train! Out, 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 out!
Oh, my word. I hope we're not taking a rickety goat cart.
I think we're actually taking an alligator crocodile.
Oh, wonderful.
Catch the carriage over there.
Over there?
Over there.
Over there. Oh,
Over there.
I can break the Cecil.
Oh, dear old sister.
Over there?
Over there.
Over there. Colby, all up! All passengers off the train!
What? I say what? Where are we? What?
Colby, end of the line, all up!
Nonsense. This isn't any proper place.
End of the line! All up!
End of fog. I say fog.
What seems to be the delay?
We've run out of track.
Beg your pardon?
This is as far as the Great Peninsula Railway has completed its track. It picks up again 50 miles further. That'll take you to Allahabad.
Passepartout.
Oui, monsieur.
There are no tracks laid for 50 miles.
See here. You saw this passage all the way through from Bombay to Allahabad.
Yes, and experienced travelers to arrange ahead of time adjunctive transport. Say a palanquin, or a four-wheeled zebu cart, or a rickshaw, or a goat, or a donkey to get over the lapsing track. All the best.
Let's comprendre! And this at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night.
Nonsense. It's 7 in the morning.
Do not insult my great-grandfather's watch, s'il vous plaît.
Your watch is fine, but you still leave it set to land in time, and here we are.
In the jungle, near Kobe village. 50 miles.
Could be worse, you know. Used to stop back before those mountains. Days and days. But this puts a crimp in your schedule, eh?
No, not really. Just a minor inconvenience. Everything is expected. The unplanned for is, of course, what planned for.
Oui, monsieur. What shall we do?
Yes. Oh, do. Yes. I will have to do something.
Smashing.
Well, nothing to it. We'll just have to walk it. 50 miles. We're healthy enough men, are we not?
Righto.
But, monsieur, perhaps we may not have an alternate type of transport? Do I hear something in the jungle? Oh, monsieur! En un moment! Attendez! The minute of the clock which is cut in two.
What? He begs half a minute.
You'll have trouble with that one.
What's that now?
This business passports you at the temple. Very bad. This country may be now part of the British Empire, but our government still protects the religious customs of all Hindus hereabout. Your manservant presented a disruption of the temple, a serious offense. If he had been arrested,
But that's what you
if he had, a severe punishment would follow. Your man is young, excitable, and careless.
Monsieur! Monsieur! Oh, those poor prawns are terrible. Oh, I have secured us a carriage.
A carriage?
In this wilderness?
Well, not exactly a carriage.
A go-kart?
A rickshaw?
A camel?
Ha ha, you joke! En camel. Non, ce n'est pas un camel. C'est l'éléphant.
What's that man bringing? Oh!
Is she not magnificent?
Huge! Look at his ears!
Look at her.
They must be bigger than 2 of my houses.
2 of your houses? Yes, look how it lumbers from out.
It's lumbering this way.
Oh, we've got so many good numbers.
There it goes now. Of course not.
Let us come follow, but be careful of the very large piles.
Oh.
Yes, yes, yes. She is my elephant, named Curie. She is a sweet beast, and although Mr. Fogg offered much money to borrow her, I could not allow it. He sweetened the deal, but I was adamant. Not until he put up a fantastic sum, and then I sold him the whole elephant. Then I reminded Mr. Fogg that the elephant will not behave for just anyone. And he hired me on as elephant driver. I cleaned up quite pretty.
The devil? What are they doing?
Hero boy.
I say.
Yeah.
I haven't the foggiest.
Let's try from over here.
Sorry.
What are they?
Hey, look! That was too close.
Is there a danger?
Danger! Bring them to me.
Quiet, your man, Fogg.
Passepartout. But that woman.
Oui, the woman.
Exactly. This is very serious. A funeral ceremony, a funeral pyre for a rich royal prince who has just died, and his wife who, you understand, has not.
What? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Quite alive, and to be cremated with her husband.
Oh, great Scott!
Oh,
She is alive.
And she's been drugged.
he is a cutie.
Who are these people?
An ancient sect. They're completely fictitious. No actual resemblance to any real religion or cult. No possible offense to anyone.
No resemblance to anyone.
Completely fictitious.
No offense at all. But, and here is our challenge. You might say an emotional crux in our story. possibly the turning point in your entire venture.
How could it be of such importance? Completely fictitious.
No resemblance.
No offense.
No. Fictitious to us, but to that poor woman living, as it were, within the fiction, the matter is grave.
Clay. Sorry. We must rescue this poor woman.
Mr. Fogg, you have a heart.
Oh, that was done in my schedule.
Ah, and that is the crux of which I speak. Should we allow events to unfold, this woman would die a horrible death. But if we stage a raid, storm the proceedings, rescue this woman, and make away with her, then we are interfering with a local religious custom.
Le
sacrilege.
Severe punishment.
Namely, the British government is quite specific. Here we are, rules of engagement.
But doesn't Her Majesty expressly forbid this sort of human sacrifice and any real fanaticism, especially the torture of women?
True, so perhaps we should step in. But to the contrary, we are admonished to respect even the most insignificant details of religious practice.
Oh, hardly insignificant.
Agreed, but as an ancient custom.
I see, we are directly opposing, influencing our and opposing opposite viewpoints.
Monsieur! This is a woman! She is in danger! As a Frenchman, I do not see the question!
Quite of course.
The rescued woman is Mrs. Aouda. She comes originally from a fine family in Bombay. Her wealthy father sent her to England to attend Cheltenham Ladies' College and receive the finest modern education. This, however, was only done to increase her value as a wife in India. Therefore, she was afterwards forcibly betrothed to the now late Raja Prince. While Mrs. Aouda was a shining jewel in the prince's turban, he took no real interest in her, being already of a terribly advanced age. He died 3 months after the wedding ceremony. This concludes a brief history of the young Mrs. Aouda. Thank you.
Our intrepid adventurers rode upon the elephant along the Ganges River to the city of Allahabad. The ride was entirely comfortable as any horse-driven carriage in London. Upon reaching Allahabad, Phileas Fogg freely gave the elephant back to its driver. The travelers boarded the train from Allahabad to Calcutta. In Calcutta, everyone disembarked. The entire party was promptly greeted by the British police. Charges were brought by the temple priests of Bombay as influenced by Inspector Phipps. The travelers were brought into the courtroom before Judge Obadiah. Inspector Phipps did not appear personally. The travelers explained their case. Inspector Phipps waited for the arrest warrant. Judge Obadiah explained the fees and bail. Everyone was happy.
manufacturing.
Mr. Fogg, lovely day at sea.
Oh, indeed.
I'm fine on your deck to rescue me.
Oh, please, let it be no further concern.
As you will. In Hong Kong, you and Passepartout will catch another boat to Yokohama, Japan. The expedition continues.
Quite.
Oh, so exciting. The adventure, the voyage.
Yes.
The experience of a lifetime for anyone. Anyone at all.
And you, this cousin you spoke of.
Ah, yes, Jaji. He moved to Hong Kong from Bombay several years ago. Everyone thought him quite wild. I'll find him, and I'm sure he'll take me in. Family.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course. Oh.
You'll excuse me.
I shall very much miss the company of Mr. Fogg. And of course, Passepartout.
Who speaks my name? Ah, Mrs. Odom.
Oh, dear friend.
Do you travel well without the sick of the sea?
Mr. Fogg certainly enjoys the voyage. He finds a game of whist anywhere.
Certainement. My master loves only the game.
I've noticed. And he finds no joy in companionship. I mean, he sits with me, he listens, and he seems interested. But he says nothing.
My master is not comfortable in society. In the game, he does not need to communicate.
Yes, truly. Well, I think I shall retire for a bit.
Call me a Frenchman, but she likes him. Everybody likes him. But you know what I mean. She likes him.
There he is. The manservant. Well, nothing for it. We're bound to meet sooner or later. I say, my good friend!
Hello,
I say, this is fortunate!
Monsieur, are we acquainted?
Of course, we met at the telegraph station, the British Consul back in Suez, Egypt.
Ah,
Indeed! Fancy our sailing this way together. Small world, eh?
Yes and no. This is the entire cause of our travel, a wager. My master must circumnominate the entire globe in 80 days, or he stands to lose a great many thousands of pounds.
Yes?
And it can be done, but it is not easy. My master, while he prepares for anything, does not prepare for anything. Here, we have saved the life of a young Indian woman. Now she is in our company. And here, the tracks of the train run out. So ride upon, let upon. Easy for me, my master. And he spends his money so freely. Before he even wins the wager, I am concerned that even if he wins, he may be rich, but he will still be broke. But I speak to freely. And you, are you also around the world?
No. I work with the Peninsular and Oriental Steam Navigation Company. We provide a mail service between Egypt and India.
But you are far from Egypt or India.
Yes. Well, it's
Probably not. I'm sorry, must be the wind. I cannot hear.
You know what I mean.
Come on, excuse-moi.
I fear this man is onto me. If he exposes my intent, fog will fade into a mist. A fog. Fog will be fog before Fix the Fox can outfox the fog.
I suspect that this man is not who he represents. Perhaps he is a reform club, a whist player, sent to spy on our progress, report any misdoings back to the club. Perhaps I shall tell my master. Perhaps not. It might stir the teapot.
Just hope the weather holds.
Smash! She's a real typhoon! A monsoon! A pandemonium!
I fear this manservant is on to me. I fear Mr. Fogg will disappear into the streets of Hong Kong. I fear my big reward will vanish! Splash! Splash! Splash!
All clear, the storm is past.
Oh, thank God.
Mr. Fogg, even in all the commotion, you stood there like the mast of a ship.
Nothing to be gained through hysteria.
Hong Kong, all off!
I say, Captain, I'm looking for another captain. One for the Carnatic?
At your service!
Oh, fantastic. I was worried the storm would bring us along behind schedule.
Oh, no worries. The Carnatic is going under repairs, but it won't be leaving until tomorrow.
Oh, then we shall have to cozy up in the local hostelry. I'll have my man reserve 3 rooms.
As you like.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, do either of you know anything about an Indian, like myself? Moved here from Bombay several years ago by the name of Majik.
Did she? Oh, yes.
Yes, funny fellow.
Nice boy.
Not here now.
Not here now.
No, moved.
Move far away.
Moved to Holland.
Holland?
Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Amsterdam.
Brussels.
Chocolate.
Tunis.
Coffee.
Windmill.
Not here.
Not here now.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, I have some distressing news. My cousin Gigi is no longer in Hong Kong.
Oh, so that means you'll be traveling along with us a little further.
Yes, of course.
Let us find lodging.
Oh, thank you so much for showing me the city.
Oh, not a bit. We have the time. The Carnatic will not be repaired until tomorrow morning.
What's that? Sorry, gents, but the Carnatic's repairs are actually done early. We will leave on time. Make sure you tell your master.
Oh, the Carnatic is leaving tonight, not tomorrow. I must tell Monsieur Fogg.
Ah, of course. He'll be looking for the hotel.
But
I'll show you the way.
no,
Right this way. Yes,
Monsieur Fogg,
Why is he not one of the smaller ones in the show?
Ha ha! Fix the fox. Now the Carnatic will be repaired tonight, and Fogg will not hear about it. The ship will leave tonight. Fogg will arrive in the morning. I will by then buy the arrest warrant, and boom! I get the big reward. I get the big reward.
All aboard! Good ship Carnatic leaving for Yokohama, Japan! Carnatic for Yokohama, Japan on schedule! With no warning! Just pulling out unexpectedly! Any passengers? No? Okay. Toot toot!
Perhaps this gentleman. Excuse me, sir. Do you know anything about a missing person? A manservant? French?
I say, are you two travelers just disembarked from the Rangoon?
Oh, indeed.
Well, I'm a fellow, Mr. Phipps of the Papineau. Just about to board the Carnatic for Yokohama, Japan, are you? Myself the same. Let's inquire as to departure time.
Oh, sorry, the Carnatic has sailed. I'm not even here.
What? Who's speaking then?
Right. I'm John Busby, owner of this here sightseeing vessel, the Tangadere. Would you care for a jump?
Beg pardon?
An airing.
Come again?
A turn about the bay, a whirl, indulge in the wanderlust, enjoy the sights and sounds of oceanic Hong Kong, a sea trip.
But the Carnatic has sailed, you say? Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh, no.
We were planning to. We were all planning to.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, you're quite ruined.
Oh, not in the slightest. Merely an instance. Everything is expected, even the unexpected. Say, Bussy, is this observational touristy vessel of yours, is she expeditious?
What?
Mercurial? Is she nimble, winged of heel, telegraphic, quick? Fast, man! Is she fast?
Oh, quick as a thought, took her on the bay in no time.
And how long to Yokohama?
I can't take you
And in Shanghai, we can secure another steamer, get back on track, and right on schedule.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, you're quite wonderful.
Oh, nothing to it's quite all right. Mr. Fix, are you with us?
I'm not quite prepared.
Is it the money? Are you thinking about money?
Oh, I'm thinking about money.
Think nothing of it. I'll pay your way, fellow travelers and all.
But what about poor Passepartout?
We shall just have to catch up somewhere, somehow.
All right, now pay attention. The order is being telegraphed. It's following me across the continents. But the order is no good once Fogg gets spotted in Shanghai. If he sets sail for the Americas, and that seems to be the plan, well, then I have to get extradition orders. It takes time. It's getting above my pay grade. But I'm in so far as Shanghai. And he is paying my way on this boat. I feel rather a worm.
All aboard! Excursion boat the Tankadere off to Shanghai, China! All aboard! All off! Shanghai, China! All off!
We'll have the whole afternoon in Shanghai. Oh, look at all the people. All the Shanghainese. Oh, is that insensitive? I'm sorry.
Get your seats! Get your seats! Shanghai International Circus about to commence! The wonders of the world! Exotic creatures! High-flying daredevils!
Come on, a circus, that sounds like fun.
If you like.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for your aesthetic pleasure, a thrill of the senses, a stimulus for the mind, Shanghai International Circus presents the beautiful, the ravishing, the incomprehensible Mademoiselle Desiree Pretty Pose.
Yes, Passepartout, quite the story.
It is embarrassing, so perhaps you can read the book?
Very well. We have to catch the U.S. Grant onto the Great Pacific Ocean and onto America.
Oh, Mr. Fogg, this big world really is a small world after all.
Oh, not a word of Fogg's progress.
Oh, that's strange. Newspapers, The Wire, usually up and all the latest.
Not a word for weeks.
In days, Fogg has fallen into a volcano, been swept off by a ship, or in by drought.
Oh, but just hearing nothing does not positively indicate that Fogg is...
Dead! Dead! They're all dead! Fogg, his manservant, they've all met with a clear.
Stop it! I don't understand you, men. Fogg goes on this amazing adventure and you seem more interested in his demise than his success.
Simply too much to account for. Whether what have you, it is a foolish wager.
Yes, we're all in on the wager, but that's just a friendly bet between gentlemen. I'm sure we wish the best for our friend.
Friend.
Who tells you that we were friends?
Yes, we're all friends, right?
No.
Not a bit. I don't care for any of these people. I don't like you for that matter.
What? Then why are we all here?
Because we're rich. Here at the club, we can be in the company of others who are rich. Rich.
That can't be all. Are we all just so rich?
Of course we are. Aren't you? I'm filthy rich.
Really?
Wallowing.
Lovely.
You?
Stinking.
Oh, and Fogg is rich. Why, if he weren't rich, he wouldn't be welcome here.
Frankly, if he loses this wager and it wipes him out, he won't be welcome here, nor will he show his face. Be as good as dead to us.
But I like Mr. Fogg.
Don't be emotional. It's time for tea.
No tea. A rich person never turns down tea.
Fogg's journey is so exciting. Suppose he's made it all the way around India up to Hong Kong. He could be sailing the Great Pacific Ocean right now. Or perhaps arriving in San Francisco.
Come along, we must get our passports stamped, check into the hotel for rest, and then on to the Pacific Railway for New York.
New York?
Can we buy guns?
Beg your pardon?
Guns?
Oui, the six-shooter, the pistol, the shoot-em-up, the iron fist, the last one.
Oh, why would we want guns?
Is this not America?
Come along.
Can we buy at the hotel?
Yes, ladies and gents, it is I, the right bodacious officer Camerfield, here to protect your happy, idyllic way of life. Now, who is with me? Who will vote Camerfield for office?
Gentlemen, ladies, here I stand, a Provenue Mandaboy, ready to correct the ills that plague our fair city of San Francisco. Mandaboy will be good for our town, good for our people, good for our businesses and life. I promise to take up the gauntlet against the evils that plague our fair city. Help me to clear away the unwanted influences of our daily lives. Your local officer is a sham and a fraud. Help me help you to live your days in peace and productivity. Vote for Mandaboy, vote for change! Mandaboy! 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 Interesting politics.
Indeed, it's good to see the community involved in their government.
Yes, and any officials may not sneak the crimes.
Now you there, I'm sure you'll be voting for Camerfield, am I right?
Any citizen of discernment would choose Mandaboy for this office.
I don't believe you are.
My platform is transparent without question.
Oh, well then let's ask them. Who will you be voting for in this here election?
Why? Myself?
They don't sound like citizens, they sound like foreigners!
Oh, indeed, my good man. We are a
Oh,
common
don't you allow me!
Beg your pardon?
Yes, but we're English.
Oh, quite right. From London, sir. And my man...
Our nation get mixed up in our local politics and talking like that!
I speak the way I speak, sir.
Well, I think you're a fly-by-night meddling chip dipper!
You, sir, are a rude rube.
Should you engage this man?
A bully is not to be tolerated.
Go!
What'd you call me?
Yes, sir, a rude rube.
Says who?
So say I.
Me.
Me.
Says me.
Says me.
Speak up your best.
Well, I say you're a weak-kneed, yellow-livered goose thief!
Says who?
Says me!
Then you, sir, are a cross-eyed, black-haired cow killer.
Says who?
Says me.
Oh, well, you are Curly, where are all them helpful suggestions that the audience gave us? You are a teal-tongued Pangolia who is accused of necromancy, but not just any necromancy, to do arson. Whoa.
Says who?
Probably your brother.
Then you're here tonight. Then you, sir, are a burgundy, pancreatic llama rolling around in the field. But as you're crossing that field, you have committed mail fraud.
So I still owe a few letters. Says who?
Says me.
Well, you are a red-hearted American with a cow who is again accused of arson. How many things have you lit on fire?
I will blaze my trail, but not that way. So says me. And I also say that you are a fuchsia,
spineless tarantula. That's right, because they have exoskeletons. And you are accused of embezzling from your own company. Wicked web weed.
I have a company? Says who?
Says me.
Well, seems people are informed about what color heart you have. They say it is a red heart. And you are accused of marrying a horse. Says the horse. He said, hey.
That's a horse of a different color. In this color, I will say you are poo-poo brown, with your glutes so weak and small that all those pigs just go around and commit tax evasion in your name. Cook in the books.
I mean, I don't need to do no tax evasion in another name. I do it in my own. Says who?
Says me and the IRS.
Well, you are a blue-livered pig who is accused of the non-specific crime of a felony.
Says who?
Says somebody who clearly couldn't think of anything beyond
But once again, the color is fuchsia. You want, again, that shade of fuchsia with your eyeballs lingering on a dirty liger. And guess what? You and that tricky cat that's a combination of big cats are accused of breaking and entering.
Says who?
Says me in the Cincinnati Zoo.
You are a yellow-handed hog who is accused of being a long-winded impersonator of an official. Says the person who clearly you impersonated.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I know why. Because you are the yellow one. You're the yellow-eyed, no-tailed demon who's going around tipping over cows. And you've also been accused of failure to scoop, especially the litter box.
Oh, you done it now, son. You are a pink-kidneyed walrus who is accused of the most heinous crime I could ever imagine. You're accused of being late.
Never! My life, my timetable, my schedule will allow for all possibilities, including this instance here in San Francisco.
You fired your weight man staff. I don't know. Says who?
Says me.
Well,
and her.
Yes.
All right, enough. That does it. Darest thou Britisher impugn my dignification out here in publicity? I challenge you to a duel.
Gimme!
Right here in the street. High noon is the usual time. I'm joking.
Usual time, don't do that. My people are big on tradition. However, I have a prior engagement and will not be available at noon today nor noon for several months going forward. May we leave a standing arrangement? We might revisit at the first possible opportunity.
Wait, so as soon as you get back?
No, precisely.
You know, actually, we have that thing going on.
Well, seeing as I have other business to attend to, that'll do for now.
With that, I take my leave.
Bon voyage!
He will.
Shoot you later.
Come along. We must to the Pacific Northwest Railroad and on to New York.
San Francisco to New York. That'll be several weeks.
No, not as long as that.
Vote for Camerfield. Good to see you today. Vote for Camerfield. Thanks for coming. That's a vote for Camerfield.
This must be an important election.
Oh, yes. I am the incumbent.
And the position?
Oh, it's dog catcher.
The Great Pacific Railway from ocean to ocean, New York and San Francisco are now united by an uninterrupted metal ribbon measuring no less than 3,000 miles. Between Omaha and the Pacific, the railroad traverses a countryside that is still frequented by those who were called Indians and by wild animals. Under the most favorable circumstances, the trip used to take 6 months. Now it is done in only 7 days.
My master, always the same. He plays the whist. On a boat, the whist. Traveling through beautiful, exotic foreign countries, he plays the whist. And now, here, on this train, in the middle of the wild, wild west, somehow he finds the players for the whist. Look out this window. You are mountains. Come, you're mountains. Put your hands up. You're mountains. Put your hands up. Come. There, like this. Yes. You are purple mountains, majesties. He does not see you. He does not see you. But just as your beauty. Now over here. Look at this window. You are amber waves of grain. He does not see the prairies full of waving grasses. No. And you, out this window, you are a herd of bison. Oh, very good. He does not see your majesty. He does not see your dangerousness. No, he sees only the whist. Now, perhaps I shall go to another part of the train. Maybe something more interesting.
Oh, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. 2 more. Here we go. Thank you for joining us. Sir, step right in. Have a seat. Thank you all for joining me here today. I am the Right Reverend Hitch, and I was speaking to you all today about dirt. About the filth, crunch, smuts, and general uncleanliness of modern day life. Now, everybody hates dirt, am I right? We all want our lives to be clean and shiny, to be glorious and glossy, to be immaculate. But what do we have? We have dirt, we have filth, we have slime, grime, and slop. And what do we want? We want clean. Clean like the good old days. Clean as a mother's love, as clean and as pure as grandma's life. So raise our voices. You will find this in your books. Turn to your page 2 and you will find this in your books. We will raise our voices and raise our arms in praise of grandma's life. So, do you remember grandma's life? So it's good for everything in the home. And the secret was in the scrubbing. It wouldn't suds, it couldn't fall. Now let us sing out of grandma's life. So it's good for everything in the place. Your pots and kettles, your dirty dishes, for your hands and for your face. Now little Herman and brother Thurman.
What about her?
And the virgin to washing their ears.
Oh,
Now grandma scrubbed them with a lasso. They hadn't heard a word in years.
Praise her!
Now let us sing out of grandma's lasso. It's good for everything in your place. Your pots and kettles, your dirty dishes, and for your hands and for your face. I'm gonna lean in here. Mrs. O'Malley, down in the valley, suffer from ulcers, I understand. She ate a cake of grandma's lasso. She has the cleanest ulcers in the land. Sing out of grandma's lasso. It's good for everything in the place. Your pots and kettles, your dirty dishes, and for your hands, and for your face. One more time, everybody! Sing out of grandma's lasso. It's good for everything in the place. Your pots and kettles, your dirty dishes, and for your hands, and for your face. Now I have the cure for what ails you today. The solve for all of life's dirtiest problems in this modern world. I have the genuine, authentic grandma's lasso. That's right, right here, grandma's lasso. We have our signature pumpkin lavender scent. That's right, it's relaxing enough to put you to sleep and spicy aviation gown with the pumice stones and the... No, come back now. Come back now. Get you some. Wait. Not you, sir. You. Will you join us against the fight and dirt in our lives today?
No.
Oh.
You!
Oh, man!
I don't do guns.
Oh dear, please excuse me.
Surprise! We're on the same train with a score to settle.
We may suffer a slight interruption.
Well, seeing as the code of the West forbids another man from interrupting another man's poker game, I suppose I can wait till somebody takes the kitty. Now, which one of you is the... Wait, where is the... Who's the... Oh, what blatant biscuits kind of poker game is this?
Not poker, sir. Whist.
What did you call me?
Not you, sir. The game. The game. Whist.
You played me for a fool?
Never. Very serious game. Our game of whist.
Hey, here! By my granny's gold gun gravel, I can't take no more! Now you owe me! Since San Francisco, we're gonna have ourselves a shootout right here and now!
Sir, as I explained to you then, I am unarmed and with no pistols to defend my honor.
You mean this?
What the deuce?
The Wild West, they bought them in San Francisco before we left the hotel.
Well, looks like we're on even ground, Limey!
You do not insult my master!
What?
Hey, Passepartout, be still. This is my quarrel. I'd be honored to consider you my second.
One OCO, it stands for you in a clear double field.
No, not my usual nil-nil, the duel, but one must stand for something.
Hush up! It's high noon!
It is 4 o'clock!
It's noon!
Dare impeach the dignity of my
Passepartout! You may have him after I'm through with him. Now tell me, sir, how does one duel in this part of the world?
Well, all those not shooting should skedaddle!
What is it?
Get out!
Master, I will come back to help you pick up his pieces.
Very well, sir.
Hold it!
Are you a rooster?
What?
Chicken.
No. Listen, don't you hear?
The train?
Yep, they're almost on us, so we're in for it now.
What? Who?
Yep, here they come!
Who, sir?
Whip, hands up!
Sir, brother, you cannot say that anymore.
But, Indian!
Sir, you cannot say that. Terribly insensitive, impressionable young people might hear. Besides, the complete misunderstanding of the whole of the culture, it's just simply not spoken.
But there's Indian! Oh! But they're here! We gotta do something! They're almost on us! What do you suggest?
Well, all in all, I suppose you're right.
Indians!
Jennifer, तड़क रहा और डोक रहा होए तूफान पे गई थोड़ी कट के काल जा ले गई मैं गोरियां देख लो अभी मर गए नहीं होए मैं
Let's say, were those the right Indians?
Doesn't matter. They're completely fictitious, bearing no actual resemblance to any people, nationality, or society, and mean no offense to anybody.
Bridge is out!
Huh?
The bridge is out!
Where?
Come on to the front engine with me! All right, careful now, it's a big step. Yeah.
My word!
Take you a week to spit to the bottom.
Oh, truly. But the tracks cannot simply end here. They must go from here, continue on. Over there, I imagine. There ought to be a bridge. We need a bridge. Where is the bridge? Oh, gee, gad!
Now that's a lot of firewood.
Oh, come and see this.
We're looking at the bridge.
What bridge?
Where's the...
Oh! What the devil is going on out here? Where's the bridge? Oh, that's no way to build a bridge.
This is the second time we have run out of railroad.
In this country, can we find elephants?
Oh, no.
Well, we could jump it.
What?
Yeah, I heard of this before. The track up into this point, this is the Medicine Creek Crab-Ass. This is a long uphill run. Scientifically, if you look at the angular trajectory, when the track reaches this point, it's actually aimed, you might say targeted, up into the air and over the gap. Now, we back her up a couple miles, we throw a lot of wood in her belly, we build up the steam, we race up this incline, and if my trigonometry is correct, we'll get fired, I say propelled up into the air and over the creek and land square on track on the other side.
You're crazy! You're insane! There's no way
Once
that's
in my life, I think
a
a Frenchman is crazy. And if a Frenchman is right, something is definitely wrong.
We are at an impasse.
It's a crevasse.
We are blocked. I think we should take the engineer's advice.
What?
What? No. He is no engineer.
Beg your pardon. Sometimes being prepared for the unexpected means relying on the expertise of others. This man is an engineer. I think he knows. Let us board the train.
I think he knows all of you. Mama, I am coming to join you.
Mr. Phipps.
All right now, full reverse.
Chug it. Okay,
that'll do. Throw in all of it you can handle. All right, shoot up, blow a steam. Here we go.
Sometimes someone simply must do something.
Yeah.